morning to you all here. It is June 13th, 2025. Hope you guys are all doing well out there on this Friday morning. We have got a lot of weather to talk about today. A long stretch of severe weather as expected here. The Storm Prediction Center highlighting 6 days in a row of severe weather here, possibly some significant severe weather for the high plains and the upper Midwest as expected here. Areas we haven't seen a lot of severe weather in yet this year. Some areas will see continuing severe weather as they have seen. Some areas will see new severe weather in areas that have not seen it this year. So we're going to break all that down here for you guys. I want to talk about what's on going across radar this morning. We have a lot going on here. It is raining outside where we're at here in Kentucky. Huge complex of showers and storms moving through that would move through yesterday back from Texas, Louisiana up through Arkansas, now into the Ohio Valley. So heavy rainfall, flooding possible with some of those areas that see higher concentrations of rainfall totals quicker. There is a marginal risk for wind out today as well from Kentucky back down all the way to the Gulfs down here where Louisiana is at. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Showers and storms ongoing in Louisiana, showers and storms ongoing in western Oklahoma, some severe there. Cluster of storms ongoing up here into the upper Midwest and high plains from yesterday's storms, and we've got storms moving into our main risk zone that will be at play later on this afternoon. I will let you guys know we'll be live every single day doing weather coverage in full depth here. We'll have videos every single day to keep you guys updated. So if you're in these risk zones, be weather aware as always. Have alerts on your phones, know where to go when you get warnings, and like I said, we'll be watching us. If you would like to keep up with the weather, we'll be live every single day covering this going forward in depth for you guys. But like I said, lots of things ongoing here, even some showers and some thunderstorms off the East Coast here, associated with a high pressure system that's allowing for tropical moisture to surge in. I also want to let you guys know we're going to talk briefly on the tropics for just a quick second. We've got the Pacific Ocean continuing to be very, very active here. There's already a low pressure system out here just to the west of this next development region. We're watching for a fifth development region behind this low pressure system. So we'll probably have our fifth and fourth named storm here very, very soon before the weekend is honestly over with, or even going into early next week. There are some model runs. We are starting to see the signs for what could be our first potential development region across the Caribbean or the Gulf here. This is going to be the area to watch going into next week here, where we could see some type of tropical system develop. I don't think we're going to get a hurricane. I'm going to let you guys know that now. We are starting to see some support from the GEFS ensemble. Some of the European ensembles are starting to line up with a low week in tropical depression or tropical storm early to mid next week. We're going to watch that. The National Hurricane Center has not highlighted anything yet. Once they highlight something, we'll start to really go in depth and talk about this. But I just want to give you guys a heads up. If you're in this region next week, especially going towards Mexico, maybe even towards southern Texas, we could see some pretty significant rainfall next week from this system that regardless if it develops into a tropical system or not, we're going to get a wave of moisture that's going to move into this environment here, and it could potentially either become tropical something related here, or it could just bring a lot of rain to Mexico and Texas once again. This is something we kind of saw at the beginning of last year when we had Tropical Storm Alberto and Tropical Storm Chris last year early in the season. So just something to kind of be mindful of. The water temperatures are supportive for tropical storm development. We'll keep you guys updated on that if that does in fact happen. As always, we'll be talking about this on a daily basis with you guys here. So I do want to hop over to the Storm Prediction Center and kind of talk about what we're going to be having over the next 6 days. Kind of just be mindful here, be patient, breathe, guys. There's going to be a lot of severe weather to talk about here over the next 6 days. We'll start out here with today, where we do have a marginal risk for wind and for a small chance of some hail back down here into Kentucky, central Kentucky through Tennessee, back down into Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana. Level 1 risk out of 5. Wouldn't be shocked to see an isolated tornado spin up, but that's if our 3-kilometer cape can get going with the cloud cover that we've got right now, and enough spin can rotate some of these storms potentially. So we'll be watching that very closely here. But our main threat's going to be, for the first time this year, we're going to be focused on Montana, guys. Montana back down here into portions of the high upper plains here, where we could see a pretty decent, robust severe weather threat today, with the threat for extremely large hail, damaging winds over 75 miles per hour, and a couple of tornadoes can't be ruled out. This is going to be the area that we're going to be focused on a lot going through the next couple of weeks here, as I've been telling you guys over the last couple of days. Level 3 enhanced risk there for Great Falls, back down here into central and southern Montana, and then a slight risk that extends all the way down through Wyoming, back into the South Dakota here, Wyoming. We've got Nebraska, Kansas, and into Texas and western Oklahoma Panhandle and eastern Colorado expected, where we see these type of low pressure systems that move off the Rockies this time of the year. Now, I will let you guys know as well, there is a tornado risk. There is a 2 and a 5% tornado risk here. We see that higher concentrated area up here near the Great Falls area down through Billings, Montana, 2% that extends all the way down outside of Casper and Cheyenne, Wyoming. Now, this is where things get a little bit more interesting this afternoon. We do have a hatched wind threat. We could see wind over 75 miles per hour in central and southern Montana today, with that hatched region there. Outside of that hatched region, 5 and 15% regions do cover 60 to 70 mile per hour winds from the plains all the way down to Texas here, and then into the lower Ohio Valley and Tennessee Valley in the southeast there. And then we do have a hatched hail threat once again as well. Hail could exceed 2 inches in diameter anywhere in that 15 or 30% hatched region here. That does include most of northern Wyoming and Montana here. And then outside of that slight risk and marginal risk, we do have the threat for 1 to 2 inch diameter hail. We'll kind of talk about the timing of this here in just a second with you guys. Want to run through the rest of these risk zones. We get to tomorrow, another slight risk and marginal risk, another level 2 slight risk back down here, pretty much in the same area as it is today. Valentine, Nebraska, Rapid City, South Dakota, getting in towards Sheridan, Wyoming here, and then Billings, Montana. And then we've got a marginal risk that extends all the way down into Texas, where we'll have kind of a dry line set up here. General thunderstorms outside of that there in the light green. 2% tornado risk. Wind threat is 15 and 5, and hail threat is 15 and 5. Wouldn't be shocked to see an upgrade again as well, just given what we're continuing to see with this pattern that's coming in. We'll keep you guys updated on that. We get to the day 3 outlook. This is going to be for your Sunday. We've got a marginal risk off the East Coast here from an upper level system that's going to be moving through Charlotte, Raleigh, Roanoke, Virginia Beach. Be mindful. Wind and hail will probably be the probabilities for that. And then once again, not moving much with this risk zone. Big marginal risk extending from Montana all the way down to Texas, Oklahoma here, and a level 2 slight risk at play on Sunday as well. We'll kind of be looking at a transition day here on Sunday with our storms. And then this is where things start to get interesting. I mentioned to you guys early next week, we're really going to have to watch for the threat for kind of more robust severe weather with the tropical, or not tropical, but with our new troughing pattern that's going to be coming in. And here is the day 4 outlook, guys, for next Monday here. We've got a level 2 slight risk at play for much of Minnesota, including Minneapolis, Aberdeen, South Dakota, Rapid City, South Dakota, Pierre, Valentine, Nebraska, Sioux Falls. I expect this risk zone to expand a little bit over the time. We'll probably have an enhanced risk by the time this day gets here, and then we'll have a marginal risk as well. So this will be the area to watch on Monday. Excuse me. All modes of severe weather will be possible. Going into the day 5 outlook here as well, we've got another level 2 out of 5 slight risk here for western Iowa, much of Nebraska here, and northern Kansas and eastern portions of Wyoming. All hazards will be possible there. And then the day 6 outlook, this extends eastward here into northern Missouri, western and central and northern Illinois, Chicago area, Milwaukee, southern Wisconsin, and eastern and central Iowa here. And then I would expect probably more risk zones to accompany as we continue to watch this system progress. And then we'll probably honestly introduce more severe weather again to these areas going towards the end of next week. So it's going to be a very, very long stretch of severe weather, guys. We're going to be covering in depth every single day, going coverage-wise, in full depth with you guys. We'll have videos out every single day to keep you guys updated, keep you guys safe, but it's going to be a pretty long stretch of severe weather here. So I hope y'all enjoyed the last couple days off, because we're going to be getting into this very, very quickly here. I will briefly show you guys what we're going to be looking at today. Sometimes the models just don't pick up with these type of setups here in the upper high plains very well. So this kind of gives us a brief idea of what we're going to see later on this afternoon. Storms should initiate between noon and 4 o'clock. A couple of instances of some large hail, possibly over 2 inches in diameter, some winds over 75 possible. Then we will have a couple of photogenic potential tornadoes, as Montana storms can produce some pretty wild tornadoes up here, at least on the photogenic side of things. So we'll keep you guys updated with that here. But timing between 4 and 5, or between noon and 4 p.m., and then those storms will work east. We'll have a round of storms back down here into the plains. I'll get to that here in a second. And then tomorrow, again, we'll see another round of storms with some large hail, some damaging winds, and a couple tornadoes can't be ruled out. Same time frame tomorrow, again, going into your Saturday here. Another area that we're going to watch here as well, we'll get to the central and high plains next. As you guys will see here, that round of storms will develop here right around 3 to 6 p.m. A line of storms moving through. Outflow boundaries will probably be present, so we'll have to watch for a damaging wind threat moving through South Dakota and Nebraska later on tonight. A couple showers and storms down here in the northern Texas Panhandle. Very marginal risk for wind and hail. And then we kind of see like an overnight event get going here. We're going to have to watch this as well going into the overnight hours for the threat for some more damaging winds, some hail, maybe even a brief spin-up tornado here between midnight and 6 o'clock tomorrow morning across southern Nebraska, going in towards northern portions of Kansas. Some showers and storms moving through northern Oklahoma overnight. Those should be on the lesser of severe side of things. And then we get into tomorrow. Once again, we do it all over again. A couple cells popping up here. So it's very, very isolated to scattered in nature. More numerous storms up towards Montana and that enhanced risk today. And then we can see some showers and storms on Sunday across Iowa. And then potentially another little setup down here towards northern Oklahoma on Saturday night into early Sunday morning as well. So just a lot of different days to watch out for. These MCS days, once again, get a little bit complicated in terms of trying to forecast what's going to happen. So just kind of bear with me in terms of the forecasting, guys. Try to get you guys the best information we can here as well. We'll talk more about this on the stream today and its longevity and what's going to happen with our pattern in general here. I did mention, like I said, the National Hurricane Center does not have anything highlighted as of right now, but I would not be shocked to see, once again, something highlighted in this region over the next couple of days here, maybe a less than 30% or 40% chance of a development region here developing over the next couple of days here. So we'll have to watch that very closely. Not set in stone yet. We'll keep you guys updated on that. Latest GFS model run here this morning, giving us an idea of what we're going to see aloft with our wind shear. You can see this upper level disturbance here that's continuing to move into the lower Ohio Valley, pumping rain and a little bit of a severe weather threat later on this afternoon to this corridor, northwesterly flow on top into Canada and the northeast. And then here comes our next jet stream. This is what's going to set up today's severe weather threat. You can see kind of our divergence zone that's set up here across the Montana, Idaho, and northern Wyoming area here for the threat for some significant severe weather in this corridor here later on this afternoon. We go into Saturday and Sunday, that troughing ejects. A little bit more wind shear going into tomorrow. I wouldn't be shocked to see tomorrow go enhanced either. What we're going to start to see going into the weekend here is a brief little high-pressure system that's going to develop, kind of give us a little heat dome over the next couple of days here. And then eventually what's going to happen is that heat dome will shift east. It will break down. We're going to see a pretty decent little trough that's going to move through here on Monday and Tuesday of next week. And this is where we've got those day-to-day severe weather chances across the plains, across the Midwest, and the upper Ohio Valley region going into Monday, going into Tuesday, and going into Wednesday. And we're not done after that, guys. Like I said, we're going to have to watch for a little tropical disturbance down here into the southern Texas area, into western and northern New Mexico later on at the end of next week, potentially here. And then we start to really transition with our jet stream. So once again, I mentioned a big heat dome will try to potentially develop between the June 18th period and the June 20th period. This is where we're going to get significant troughing, and this is going to promote potentially some severe weather outbreaks going towards the end of next week in the 18th and beyond, and going really in towards the end of the month. We continue to see what's called meridional/zonal flow over top of a ridge, and that does promote severe weather up into the high plains. So if you live in Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, even up into the northern Ohio Valley, you need to be weather aware next week that it's going to be a pretty wonky and wild week in terms of severe weather, and this pattern really continues to persist, really going in towards the end of June here. I mean, consistent troughing. We'll have ample instability. Dew points will be sufficient as well, and you guys can really start to see our severe weather season kicking in full force here for the high plains. You guys have lacked in severe weather this year up in this area. We're finally going to get that severe weather going up here. If you do chase, if I got any storm chasers out there, if I've got any weather enthusiasts out there that live in these areas, definitely a good sight if you want to see this. If you don't like severe weather, definitely not a good sight to see here. And like I said, we'll have to watch down here in the tropics as we continue to monitor severe weather. I will say one thing, and this is a little too far out to kind of mention as of right now, but just kind of looking going toward the July 4th holiday here, we may start to see some significant ridging once again going into the 4th here. This will be model run GFS stops at, June 29th, and this is well over 360 hours out, so take this with a grain of salt. But maybe a tropical system, we'll see as we go towards July. That's definitely going to become more possible here, but maybe a ridge developing underneath this here. So we'll keep you guys updated on that as always. I do want to run through just an idea of what we're going to see with the rain showers and the thunderstorms. A lot of the green and yellow you see popping up will be mostly day-to-daytime heated thunderstorms here. We'll see that mostly across the southeast and the Ohio Valley today and tomorrow, and then we're going to see those little MCS stays across the plains here, the upper plains of the Midwest, going through Monday, going into Tuesday, going into Wednesday here, maybe a more robust setup on Wednesday afternoon and Thursday across the upper Midwest there, and then getting into next week, like I said, we need to watch down here into the Gulf for some tropical moisture, either a tropical system or a just general rainfall moving into the area late next week. Could bring some flooding concerns to southern Texas, including the Corpus Christi area down to Brownsville, and maybe even into western and northern Mexico there going into the 20th and beyond. So we'll keep you guys updated on this. Like I said, we'll have a full-blown live stream later on this afternoon covering this and kind of just talking in general weather, nerding out, getting you guys updated, ready to go. I do appreciate y'all for watching this. As always, if you will leave a like at the bottom of the video or in the video in general, whichever platform you're on here watching on, leave a like, leave a comment if you guys have any questions. I'll try to get back to some of those, and we'll see you guys in the live stream today. Be safe, guys.